to give away. Yep, recording started. So I can leave now. Have a nice meeting. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much, Swat,
No problem.
for putting this together. Let's wait a couple more seconds for the many participants to join. And as soon as we have a critical mass, I will start with the logistics, basically just asking everyone if it's okay to record the meeting. And then also, I'm not sure who has activated the meeting notes. There's an AI tool listening to what is being said and transcripting the text. And in the last reintegrate call that we had, it was decided that we will not be using it because the material is being processed on servers that are not hosted by any institution belonging to the project, which might have okay. It seems to me that okay, now I'm super confused because I keep seeing Autopilot next to people's names.
Yeah,
and
there's
I'm not
two.
sure.
There's Pacific and Reka. There's two autopilots.
So, I mean, I have nothing against it, but I understand that the project doesn't really like it. So, if people can maybe deactivate it, if it's easy. I see now that the AI bot participant has disappeared, which means someone must have deactivated it. But I do see Autopilot next to people's names, and I don't know what it means. And I see someone writing in the chat. It seems to be a bot again. We might want to deactivate those, if it's okay. By the way, hi everyone. I see we have 14 people so far.
Hi.
Yeah, I remember they don't make it easy for you to deactivate it.
They don't make it easy, right?
No.
Yeah.
You have to go. You have to log in and then you have to go to the settings, and then you have to turn it off, the option of automatically activating at non-Zoom meetings.
I mean, okay, I mean, this particular meeting, I mean, the nature of it, this type of exchange is actually something that you do want to have public. So I think it's not critical because it's not a management meeting and it's not a project strategy meeting or anything. So it's just an exchange between modeling teams. So I don't think there's any big need to put too much effort in deactivating it now for this particular meeting. We might want to see for future meetings, but for this one, I would say don't bother too much. Let's leave it as it is so we don't waste time. But I do have to ask the participants if it's okay that we are recording it. And if not, please let me know, because we are already recording. So if someone has something against this meeting being recorded, please say so now. Okay. Looks good. And let's see real quick if I get, just in case someone wrote me that they cannot join or anything, but it seems to be fine. Good. I was expecting a bit larger audience, given the amount of people participating in these early action tasks, but I think we are fine. We can go ahead. So welcome everyone. Very nice to have you here, and really nice that people, almost everyone, responded and completed these early action tasks that we agreed upon for the modeling teams participating in Reintegrate at the kickoff meeting in Addis Ababa. Even if it happened last minute, it's of great value that people took action and completed the tasks. The format of this meeting is basically we will hear from the teams. Each team will have 5 minutes max to present, or less than 5 minutes if they wish, to present the material that we asked for in this early action task, which is basically two very simple things: just to perform 2 model runs with the state of the model as the way it is now, and the runs would be just a normal baseline, or however you like to call it, no policy scenario, and then 1 policy scenario of your choice, and then just one slide with just the basic information about your model, what it does, what inputs it has, and what outputs, so that we, the rest of the modeling teams, know what type of modeling you do. And at the end of the meeting, with whatever time is left, we will do some coordination and discuss next steps and how me as a work package leader and the team that does this, how we will process this information and make it useful for the next steps. So people uploaded in the Teams shared folder their results. So I will just go through the folders alphabetically, and I will start with Addis Ababa University. If someone from Addis Ababa University is here, it would be great if you can share your screen and walk us through your slides. Or if you cannot share your screen, I can share, and you will be telling me when to change the slide. So it's someone from, I see someone.
Yeah. Hello?
There's a bit of an issue with your sound. Oh, now it's perfect. Hi, Solomon.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Let me try to share the document.
Yeah.
Actually, for Zulus to share it, he couldn't come.
It's okay. Yeah.
Hopefully, he will reach after some minutes.
It's fine if you cannot share. I can take over this part.
Yeah, you have the PowerPoint? Or?
I have it here. I can.
Okay.
If you cannot do it, I can do it. But please, let's keep it as short as possible. So I say your signal strength is weak. Maybe I should share.
Okay,
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Good. Can everyone see this? I cannot see if you are reacting to what I'm saying. So
yes, we can see it. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So I will be switching slides when you tell me, Solomon, and we can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Let me explain some point of it. And in work package 3, which is the action, and the onset and the osmosis was our main targets. Existing models description has been here in AU, which has been, of course, prepared by our staffs. In the next slide. Next slide, yeah. And here as a highlight, the long-term electrification pathway for the hydro power plant dominated in Ethiopia, with low access rate of around 54% was studied earlier, mostly by ERA, and exploring insight on electrification. The residential sector is a main issue to be used with off-grid and grid connected. In off-grid, you have in one part of our region, which is a microgrid, investigating several scenarios based on quantitative scenario narratives is another issue. And the modeling horizon from 2015 to 2017 using osmosis, and the same thing using onset with 4 seasons and 2 day parts was just a study, I can say. Next one. You can go to the next slide. Yeah. In onset and osmosis separately, if you will see, we have, I will not go in detail also here, the input data for both sometimes similar and sometimes maybe difference. And the inputs that we are just expecting to be are from GIS data of the existing TND network. And residential demand is one of the main issue, access target, and financial data from the sources that we can reach. And in case of osmosis, residential electrification demand projection made by DEEP is already provided, and existing power plant installed capacity of the country, electricity interconnection, and energy resource and technologies, technology economic parameters, and others. I think policy constraints can be considered to fill as an input for the onset. And in the next slide, we have some more things. And here we have the output, expected outputs in both cases are also there regarding onset and cost optimal electricity supply, which can be graphically shown from the onset results can be just observed made. And here also you'll see the generation capacity in different regions. Similar research we had earlier with UCL and Cottage. And from onset, osmosis, mostly we are expecting the technology mix, I can say, and the cost and investment analysis are expected from the osmosis. Next slide. And here we can see, based on the existing policy plan, an 18% reserve margin capacity is considered. And here the scenarios are new policy scenario and ambition scenario, which we are mostly using for our analysis. Yeah. Next. And something is coming there. Okay, I think this part I may not go in detail. The expected results or the results that we had also in earlier time from this modeling tools are just to show installed capacity and how the population is just influencing on the energy requirement and so on can be analyzed with this one, I think. Yeah. If next slide is there. And planned modeling exercise in reintegrated are enhance and update the input data and assumptions taken. And here base modeling here, all inclusive sector modeling are required, and explore the transport sector decarbonization potential also will be covered. I think here also will be one of the targets, the transport. Maybe the next one. And this was the sources that we have taken, mainly ERA and the research results of KTH and AIT and of course some others like our partners in the Energy Pathway program, the UCL and Ethiopian Study Institute was our main sources to write this document. But thank you.
Super. Thank you so much. This was really nicely put, and thanks for keeping it short. Dorrit, I have some messages in the chat. No, it's AI letting us know it's here. Okay, let's move on to the next presentation. It's by the Cyprus Institute. So we also, first of all, is someone from the Cyprus Institute here and would like to present? It seems that no one is here. Let's see if it's a...
Is there a problem with the tools? I'm back, by the way.
Hi, Swat. No, everything's
Hi.
working fine.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. I'm not sure how we should proceed here with people who have completed tasks but haven't managed to join the meeting to walk us through their slides.
Maybe they'll join later. We can move to the next one so long.
Good point. Very good
Yeah,
suggestion.
just go ahead
Thanks.
with someone who had done the homework and is here.
Yep. I know from UCB that, just a second. Sorry, I'm back. My puppy needed my attention for a second. I know from UCB that they didn't manage to be here and they have uploaded a...
Yes, we are here, UCB.
Ah, but you are here. Okay, then you can go ahead and share and walk us through your slides.
Thank you. I cannot share my screen right now.
Swat, can you allow people to share screen?
They
Is this
should be
something-
able to share screen without any problem.
Maybe
Right now,
it's-
someone is sharing screen. That's
Yeah.
why.
Anastasis.
You
is
need to
sharing.
stop sharing screen. Now they can.
Perfect.
Okay. I hope you are able to see my screen.
Yes, we can
Yes,
see
yes.
now.
And even now, I hope so.
Yep.
So let
Perfect.
me go quickly. So for UCB in DRC especially, we have the context of this modeling is aligned with some priorities of the government of increasing the electrification rate and maybe take advantage of the strategic mineral that are inside the country for renewable energy solutions. And but unfortunately, we have some ambivalent goals. The government has some ambivalent goals. One hand, reduce the emissions, and on the other side, they're trying to, exploit the existing fossil fuels in the country. That is why we didn't do many analysis by now, but we just try to answer two questions. What are the cost and emission implication of fossil-free energy production in DRC? And what are the cost and emission implication of hydropower intensive energy? Because of course, DRC is the country in Africa with the highest hydropower potential, with more than 40 gigawatts only in one site. So We used the osmosis and a very simple reference energy systems. And of course, I think many here knows the input and maybe output of osmosis. We need to know what we are what we have in the country's energy reserve and resources and what can be imported. And of course, the demand. And for this case study, we just take into account the power system and the electricity needs in the residential, commercial, and industrial sectors. And of course, we didn't do like the data that we used. We used the starter kit available on Osmosis website for DRC that we expect to improve the quality of the data in the future. And as I already mentioned, we try just to investigate 3 scenarios: the least cost, the default, we just run the model as it was. And the second one, try to investigate the fossil-free scenario by 2030, but decreasing the fossil fuel generation until 2030. And the other one, because of this high hydro potential of the country, we try to see what will be the implication of the costs if we give priority on hydro investment. And and as everybody knows, the least cost is not always the best solution. You can see that from the least cost, we had a lot of investment in natural gas while we don't have enough natural gas. And in the region, we don't have a reliable corridor for natural gas supply. There was not investment in hydropower at all, but very few. And the remaining investment was in coal. That was the least cost. And when we forced the model to phase down the fossil fuel, we saw some investment in biomass-based plant and solar, and a lot also in hydro. But still, we're concerned with this investment of 8 billion in 1 year, and knowing the GDP of the country is still somehow tricky to see. The feasibility is somehow confusing if the country is able to mobilize this investment in 1 year or in these years also. And for the hydro-intensive scenario, the investment was even higher than this cost and the fossil fuel. As I mentioned, we give priority in the investment in hydro. That is why we don't have enough investment in gas, as it was in the first scenario. And also we limited the investment of fossil fuels combined together to 30%. But natural gas is showing to be still cheaper. That is why we have some investment for natural gas. But of course, for the future, we are expecting first to improve the quality of data, and with stakeholders also implication to see what could be the best other scenario to investigate in the country, and of course updates from the data that will be collected, and improve to also update the reference scenario, the business as usual, and of course design new scenarios and try to see how the model will behave in the future. That's all. Thank you for your attention.
Thanks very much. Very useful. And thanks also for keeping it short. Let's move to the next modeling team. We have Enda. I understand Libas was not able to join today, but I think a colleague did make it, yes?
Leilani is here, as far as I can see.
Yeah, I'm here. Hello, everyone.
Hi, would you like to share, or you want me to
Yeah, I
do
can
it?
share. No, I
Perfect.
share. Okay. Okay. Hello everyone again. I present this LEAP model. We are use it to submit and to doing our work in the low carbon climate resilient strategy of Senegal by 240. In the context, according to the Article 4 of the Paris Agreement, countries must submit their LTS. LTS mean long-term energy strategy. And generally, LTS submit in the UNFCCC, the United Nations Climate Change. Countries have used LEAP of their work to do the modeling in the LTS, the long-term energy strategies. What do LEAP? LEAP is a long-range energy alternative planning, is an integrated modeling tool that can be used to track energy consumption, production, and resources extraction in all sectors of an economy, like the entire of energy valuation. In terms of data input, the model draw on input data from the country's energy balance and aggregated survey data. Why aggregated survey data? That balance sheet data in national country is aggregated. For certain sector, LEAP require disaggregated data. We can do a survey and some survey in some sector like transport industry and the demographic. And also data relative of energy data. LEAP need also demographic and macroeconomic data. Demographic like population, household. In macroeconomic, you need the GDP and the value and the added value by sector, different sector that consider it. And of output, in terms of output, the resulting scenario are coherent. Scenario of an energy system might involve over time, energy demand forecasting by sector and mitigation analysis. It is the good platform to do the mitigation analysis for the low emission carbon in the energy sector. There are 4 scenarios. The first scenario is a government engaged by 2030. The government engagement translate the government energy transition commitment and defined in the nationally determined contribution NDCs are submitted in 2020, contributing to make energy resources more sustainable. In the scenario 2, PERMAX is production, generally energy production like oil and gas. The policies are the state of Senegal in terms of access to electricity, like the gas to power strategy, the oil and gas master plan, and we need to target 30% renewable energy in 2035. The scenario 4 is to REV IE 1004 is the greening the sector. Greening the sector electricity supply will be mainly focused on renewable energy and natural gas, and to target a 5% renewable energy in 2004. And the last scenario, target to renewable energy in 2004, 75% renewable in the electricity production. By the scenario predicts to increase the renewable energy and the natural gas in the other sector, like transport, industry, and the household sector. To description, the tool energy planning and GSG mitigation assessment lead operate using an annual time scale, and time horizon can supply an unlimited number of years. You can target to 2003, 2005, 2004. You can use it the time you will attend. On the supply slide, LEAP provide a range of accounting and simulation methodology of power sector generating modeling and capacity expansion planning. why or what this long-term national planning work can fit to the reintegrate process at different levels. First, challenge of adapting the tool according to the African context. Third, two, sharing experience with other countries of long-term low energy strategies with party must submit to the UNFCCC, and facilitating integration following the 4 acts listed. Throughout the methodology are the sectorial, geographical, transdisciplinary, and capacity integration. That is all. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Very good. We are progressing fast enough, I think. Next up is TNO, which is one of the regional modeling partners. But we figured it would be useful to have them also in this forum. So Amir, if you want to take over.
Yes. Can you see my slides? Yeah. Right. A brief description on the TIAM ECN model. It's an integrated assessment model of the global energy system of TNO. We have around 30 regions and with a good resolution in Africa. We have 17 regions that you can see here on the left side. It's because we have done several publications in the past focusing on Africa, and each time improving the model in these regions. It's a linear cost optimization model, which takes policy measures, GDP and population, and thus the demand projections of the future, data of the technologies, their efficiencies, cost of technologies, potential for different resources, and differences between each region. And then it performs a cost minimization to satisfy certain constraints which are coming from policy, and then it can provide us policy recommendations, cost optimal technology portfolio, prices of different energy commodities, etc., etc. Well, for this early task, we used scenarios that we developed in another study, which is on allowing electricity and hydrogen trade between North Africa and Europe. It's just to show how this model can be used, one of the examples. And then we came up with a Turkey penalty, which is the cost of going solo, basically, for these regions. This is one of the examples of the outcomes of the model, which is on the cost. So we can differentiate between the investment cost, fixed and variable OPEX, and trade costs. And here in this study, for example, we can see that going solo is not very beneficial for both regions, and both can benefit. But it all depends on type of constraints that we can put, and the quality of the data that we have. So what we are looking for is to update model inputs during the course of this project, technology assumptions, if we can get new updates on different type of, for example, solar panels, potentials in each region, because some of our data is outdated, demand projections that sometimes can be output of different models in the partners that we have here, trade assumptions, again, another key data point that can alter our results, and existing and planned infrastructure. the list can go on, but these are just some of the example of data. Well, that's all from my side.
Thanks, Amir. We only have a couple more left. Let's go on with UCT. Bruno, is it you who would be walking us through?
Yeah. Before I start, if I can introduce two colleagues that are here from UCT on the call, is my colleague Alison Hughes, who is also a very experienced energy systems modeler. She's worked on DRC, Ghana, Kenya, power systems, residential sector, industry, and she'll be helping out in this work program, assisting the other teams in developing their analysis. And we also have Mashaka Lubenga. He's a PhD student from DRC, based in Cape Town, and he's working on also on an osmosis DRC model. So he's very interested in what's going on in that region by the DRC team of this project. So I'll just share my screen for our presentation. So our core model is called Saturn GE, which consists of a times model, which is similar to a osmosis or message model. So it's an energy optimization model. So Saturn is a full sector model, so it already includes all the sectors, such as transport, industry. We also have we've extended the model to cover, in the times framework, to cover also process emissions. And then we have two spreadsheet models to cover waste and FRU emissions. So these four models together, well, the integrated energy and RPPU plus the waste and FRU have the full inventory coverage. And we use this platform for NDC update for 2030. And we link this model to a CG model from which we get the internally consistent projection of the drivers, such as sector, GVA, and household income, to drive the demand in the energy model. And then we pass back some information to the CG around, so we have one electricity sector in the CG, and as there is transformation in that sector, we take cues from the energy model on how this transformation takes place, amongst other things. So the inputs for the times model is the energy balance, and then also information on technology options, costs, etc. For the CG model, it's a social accounting matrix, and then some assumptions around responsiveness of substitutability of imports and labor and capital and these kinds of things. So that's the tool that we've been developing now for about 20 years. So in terms of the runs, we're doing a net zero study at the moment, net zero CO2, and I'm showing the results here of CO2 EQ for the over the full inventory. So this is here we have three scenarios. We have the least costs run in red, and then we have two CO2 constraints. There's two constraints active here. There's a net zero CO2 that's kind of getting us to net zero CO2, and then there's also two levels of cumulative emissions over the horizon from 2021 to actually 2055, which give us two trajectories. The NDC was specified for 2030 as a range between 420 and 350. So these two cumulative emissions kind of span the range. And it goes, we hitting net zero. The last mile, we have some work on that. I'm still unpacking that. This is what's happening in the power sector. So as you reach net zero, you have to do a lot of electrification. So the electricity demand grows. Our least cost for doing that is a mixture of wind and solar. And for the last mile, we need some nuclear. And we have transport interconnect. This is passenger mix and freight. And we find that there's not, in terms of mix, we're seeing electrification happen even in the least cost with the assumptions that we have on fuel prices and technology costs. In this particular scenario on the right, we have some aggressive mode switching and efficiency improvements in terms of like reduction of mobility demand, which we're busy reviewing. And freight, we have just some mode switching. We can also capture some from the CG, some GDP impacts. And what happens is we get crowding out when we increase ambition. We're putting more capital to the power sector, less to the other sectors, and that has a negative GDP effect. And we're looking at ways of mitigating that. But anyway, the focus for this project is not so much, so this net zero work is happening for other projects, but the demands on the model now are increasing. So because we're a single node model for South Africa, we're only able to say something about at a national scale. And the rollout of solar and wind that we require actually does need a subnational disaggregation in terms of better understanding the resource and the network bottlenecks that we have to allow this kind of expansion. And then in terms of the socioeconomics, we're only able to say something at a national scale, and there's interest in trying to unpack that at a subnational scale because the effects we think would be different in different parts of the country, and there's a lot of interest in trying to unpacking that. And then the other driver for doing kind of some spatial disaggregation, which we want to do under this project, is that some provinces and cities are in response to so the two challenges that we have. The one is that we have energy security issues, like we're kind of we don't have enough electricity at the moment, so we have load shedding, and then the mitigation. So subnational bodies such as cities and provinces are trying to meet those challenges also, and then there's the national government that's coming up with policies, and it could be kind of a clash of policies, and having kind of a spatial disaggregated model would help to untangle that, we think, and provide support at a subnational level. So in the case of this project, we want to unpack the Western Cape where we're based. We're based here in Cape Town. And we have access to more data, so we think it will be possible to do some spatial disaggregation. So we'll be working on the energy model and trying to split out at least Cape Town. We've also got some other funding to split out, to break out the electricity sector into the provinces, as we see on the map. But we won't be doing the full sector. Perhaps under this project, we're able to kind of get a bit more detail and insight on the Western Cape. So that's kind of the aim for this project.
Very good. Very good. Thanks, Bruno. We are approaching the end. The Zambia team kindly completed the tasks, but are not able to join the meeting, but they provided a recording, which you can find in the SharePoint, and I urge everyone to take a look at it. We cannot play it now because it's 13 minutes, but I think it would be useful if everyone watches it at some point. Then further, a couple more logistics stuff. We don't have Tunisia and Mauritius here, I guess, and they also didn't respond to the call for the early action tasks. So if anyone is in contact with them, please tell them to reach out to talk about next steps.
Okay, I'll reach out to Mauritius team.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
And then, so it was really nice to see all these teams responding to the call for the early action tasks, and now we can somehow operationalize all this. first to do some coordination. The work package 3 now out of the 5 tasks, 2 have already started. The first task is to build the research protocol, somehow encompassing what the 8 national studies will be shooting for, and how the modeling will be done. And I think from the early action task, we have already a lot of input for this. So the deliverable is basically a research protocol due on month 36. And as a first step, I would collect the information from the material that the teams provided in the early action tasks and somehow do a sort of model of fingerprinting to have an overview of the modeling capacity in each team. And then we are hoping to soon be in touch with the progress in work package 2 that involves stakeholder interaction, which will be an input to our research protocol, and also to be in touch with work package 5 regarding policy instruments. I understand that for most of the cases, there's already lots of work that has been done that basically influences this research protocol. But in case there is a way to adapt it to recent findings from other work packages, we are welcoming this, and we will be using it. So as I said, the first step will be to make a sort of a model fingerprinting and put it on our, I'm guessing, an Excel sheet in the SharePoint, so all the modeling teams have access to it to see how what the modeling landscape is and have a good overview of it. And based on this, we will be designing further the research protocol. And to do this, we will need some sort of coordination between the partners of work package 3. That's why I suggest we meet once per month with the modeling teams and the partners. Also because the first task 3.1 is due, is going to finish rather soon. So we do want to have it all done as soon as the task finishes. So I'm going to reach out and suggest a couple of options to meet once per month, hopefully to have a jour fix, so we don't have to go through people's availability each time to figure out a slot. Then we have task 3.2, which has already started, and I'm guessing none of the Finnish colleagues is here right now, which is okay. They were not supposed to be part of this, but they did kindly offer these 2 webinars on the Spine Toolbox, because it is written in the grant agreement that we will be using it. I see your input on this is welcome. I see a rather big gap between theory and reality here, to make it operational and to adapt the models in a way such that they can use the Spine Toolbox. It seems to me that it's going to be a rather long way. I would like to know which of the teams are fit to start using Spine Toolbox immediately, and talk with the rest of the teams to discuss other options for harmonizing inputs and operational workflows between the modeling teams so that we can learn and share knowledge. If anyone has something to say now on this, feel free to do so. We don't have much time left, and we would have to discuss a bit more the next steps, but go ahead if you have some input on this right now on the Spine Toolbox and task 3.2.
Yeah, I still have to look at the videos. I wasn't available during the seminar. I will have a look, but my initial feeling is that we probably won't use it because I'm not sure if it will help us. I haven't budgeted extra time for using it, but
Yeah, people, go ahead, take a look at the recordings. You can also reach out to the Finnish colleagues who are very keen on helping and showing people how to use the Spine Toolbox. And at some point, we will have to pin down who uses it and who doesn't, and those who don't, how to merge. I mean, how to harmonize the rest of the people's work, and also make it adaptable to the Spine Toolbox that the rest will be using. And then we have task 3.3, led by Imperial, the preparation and upskilling of teams starting in February. Just saying that it's going to be starting soon, and I'm hoping that Imperial will be reaching out to the partners and get it going. But I will be, of course, during these monthly meetings, checking for the status of each task and updates. That's it from my side for now. I'm not sure if people have questions or something that they would like to use this forum to discuss. Otherwise, you're going to be hearing from me very soon regarding model fingerprinting to kick off the research protocol and monthly meeting. If not, that was very useful. Make sure to see the recording of the Zambia team, and please, those who have access to the people in Tunisia and Mauritius, please reach out and tell them to call us. That's it from me for now. It was really exciting to see all this national and so different in their approaches, modeling teams to having them present how they deal with the case studies that we are going to be dealing with. And I think it was very useful for everyone and would definitely allow us to work better on the research protocol. So it was great. Have someone in the chat.
Thank you.
Yes, Spine Toolbox recording. There was definitely an email, and so the invitation went to the whole consortium, just in case also others are interested. Does anyone know if the recording is in Teams? I can quickly take a look.
Yes, the
Which
recording is in Teams.
Which recording again?
The Spine Toolbox workshop by VTT. It happened in October.
Yes, it is in the Teams.
Perfect.
Perfect. Okay.
Is it in the work package file repository already? Because
I must say, I don't see it here.
I don't see it either. So if
It's
someone
general folder, internal webinars.
Oh.
Good. Okay.
Yep,
Yes, of
I
course.
see it now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good. So people don't look for it in the work package 3 folder. It's in the general folder because it was a consortium-wide webinar. So it makes total sense to have it in the general folder. So yeah, you can find it there. Take a look, and of course, you can also contact the Finnish colleagues if you have any questions or need assistance. That's what they are here for. Okay. Good. I will close this meeting now. Thanks everyone for keeping it short and efficient. Thanks everyone for coming, and you will hear from me soon via email.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
Have a good day, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Have a good day, Nassus. Bye.
Meeting still.